Welcome to another online devotional. So, today is Martin Luther King Day, a day that we celebrate the life of Martin Luther King. Actually, since you'll be seeing this tomorrow, it was yesterday. But it got me thinking about the life of Martin Luther King and how he worked through nonviolence and what he was grounded in his pursuit of equality for all people. And that grounding seemed to me so genuinely grounded in love. And so I'm thinking through all the things that are going on in our world today, and each day the anxiety seems to grow, the threats seem to grow, the security seems to tighten as we near Inauguration Day in a couple days. And it just, it's hard, I think, to exist in this world right now when we can't even talk to each other about simple things that we disagree with, or any confrontation becomes a rather overblown issue, it seems. So I was looking to this one verse, especially as in the United States, America, we talk about freedom. And we tend to focus on our freedoms and our freedom to speak out, our freedom to free speech and all of that. And I was drawn back to this text out of Galatians chapter 5, and it says, "For you were called to freedom, brothers and sisters. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for self-indulgence, but through love serve one another. For the whole law is summed up in a single commandment: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. If, however, you bite and devour one another, take care that you are not consumed by one another." And that last warning just seems like if we're not doing it already, we're on the verge of consuming one another in our pursuit and exercise of our freedoms. And I don't know, it's just it's a tough situation to be in. So the other thing I was drawn to was a quote by Martin Luther King that was actually, we used it in our Christmas Eve service. And the quote is, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." I was drawn to this quote because it's Martin Luther King Day and because it's so poignant to our time. But I was struggling with, how do we get back? How do we ground ourselves in love? And that brought me to our Christmas Eve service again. And the reason I'm sitting here with the Christ candle, because we don't have the Advent wreath. But the candle lighting ceremony of our Christmas Eve service included words from the Gospel of John that start the Gospel of John. And in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. So as I was thinking about all these things and the lighting of the candles at Christmas Eve, and that service, that time is such a time of peace for most people, and we just, we're drawn to that, and the lighting of candles, and this, especially the candle right behind me, which is the Christ candle, right? And I guess part of what I'm feeling is that is how we get back to love. That is how we when we ground ourselves in our faith, when we ground ourselves in our trust in God, that darkness cannot drive out darkness, but only light. And that light, the source of that light, is Christ. And when we ground ourselves in that, when we make that our foundation from which we operate, then we have a shot at serving one another in love, at loving our neighbors as ourselves. So I encourage you to, before engaging in some of these challenging conversations, maybe ground yourself in prayer, light a candle, connect with God, with the source of our being and the source of that love, so that we then can go and operate from that foundation, seeking to serve our neighbors in love. That is true freedom. Blessings, my friends.